Eventide is well and truly underway, and with the new event comes so very much. I don't really know how I'm going to talk about it all, so I'm just not going to, but I'm going to give my sort of thoughts on how big of a deal update 0.2 is for the game and sort of how I feel about it now knowing all the changes are finally here. So let's get it out of the way. There are over 2,000 different changes they've added to the game, and I honestly don't really know where to start. So I guess we'll just start with character creation because that's the first one that comes to mind. So now, alongside the usual suspects, we also have two new ones called Custom. Now, they probably need to fix the typing for this because Custom is very vague, but depending on which character you use, it completely changes new segments of a character. So for Venomous, the first Custom now changes her hair color, her heels, her boots, and then also a bit of the chest clothing she wears. And then Custom 2 also changes, I think it's her belts. Yeah, it's her belts. So now there is more dye options for your character. On top of that, we also have weapon dyes, which is absolutely fantastic. Unfortunately, I am not the greatest at fashion in general. It is such a great addition to have so much more freedom when it comes to dyeing your character and just changing their colors, because now when I encounter other players, I don't feel like they look almost exactly identical to me. And I think the weapon dyes really help with that. So I think that's a big improvement. Another massive improvement, of course, and probably the most important one for the game, I would argue, is performance. The game arguably does run a lot better. Is it flawless? Not even in the slightest. It is still very much an early access title. There are still plenty of bugs and glitches and issues that need to be ironed out over however long this period of grace is going to be. But the game does run smoother. There are areas where I've stuttered or frozen, and that really isn't happening anymore. The only issue in the game I can really consistently find is the Highlands. I think because it's just so much bigger than the rest of the game, it really has just issues loading and rendering in all that information. So the Highlands is still quite spotty for frame rate. It really tanks the FPS in comparison to some of the other spots. But the fact that this update has actually resolved a number of pretty bad performance issues is most definitely a step in the right direction. Performance was by and large this game's greatest issue, and this is definitely a good start. There's also the Senja rework. I've not tried it myself. I don't have Senja. I don't know what changes they've made. Alongside some fixes, there is of course the Eventide Event itself. With it comes, I think it's 5 new weapons. I can't remember off the top of my head. There's several new weapons. There's a new hunt. There's a new expedition, and there is just a whole Christmas themed series of quests to go and do. I think it's 5 quests. I think I've done them all, and you can unlock a bunch of housing items and whatnot. And then there is also an event shop where by pretty much just playing the game, you'll get these things called, I think they're Revel Rubies. As long as you do Eventide related stuff, you'll get them, and then you can use them to buy a new pet, new housing equipment, gloomstones, that kind of thing. It's a very nice aspect to the game. It gives you more rewards while playing. It gives you more incentive to play. There's also this new, I don't know what you'd call it, mini boss, shall we say? It's not even really a mini boss because it's just a loot goblin with lights on it that you basically have to use free laws with. Unfortunately, it is basically the worm, but so much easier to farm worm baits for because there's just these crystals everywhere that you just smash, and it's so much easier to farm for. You beat him, he drops some presents, and you get a bunch of stuff with them like Spectra and whatnot. Fun little mini boss. You group up with 5 or 6 people, you sort of do rotations, and then you all just kind of bully a loot goblin into giving you his stuff. And then once you have enough of his stuff, you can go into the Eventide Vale, I think it is, and there's a couple of little mini expedition quests in there, which is all pretty much just an excuse to give you more stuff. So they are pretty fair at handing stuff out at the minute. Basically everything is tied together to really give you as many of that new store currency as possible, which is great because there's an ice spider pet I very much need because let's be honest, I think the majority of people are not getting to level 100 reward tower anytime soon. Oh, that reminds me, there are new UI changes, one of which I'm very happy to see is the reward tower itself. The reward tower now very simply has these floor 1 to 5 buttons. They're not much to look at, I will be honest, but they work. And that is all that matters, and it is way less painful than doing that every single time. So, big improvement there. Love this change. Again, UI changes have happened here. Didn't used to look like this prior. How could I even forget? There's now, I believe it's called the Awakening system, where once you get your character or weapon to max level, now you can sort of over level them to the next stage so you can get more echoes. So now this is no longer just locked sections, you could actually fill them out and get the job done. So the game finally gives you a chance to make yourself a bit stronger, a bit more powerful, and to prepare a bit more for endgame whenever we get it. So that's a big addition to the game. Honestly, there is just so much to talk about with the update that it is kind of hard to do, just because there really is just so much of it. Obviously, all the maps, or at the very least, all of the overworld maps are now currently Christmassy themed, which I must say, they look great. I really like how they look. They're really nice and bright and colourful. There's snow everywhere. It's very Christmassy, which is nice. But yeah, a lot of the changes I'm really happy with. It makes playing the game a lot more fun. In terms of balance changes, I can't really speak to it because I don't have much experience with the meta side of things in the game, but actually playing and experiencing the game is a vast improvement to the state it was 2 or 3 months ago. It is much improved. Hell, even a week or 2 ago, before the event even dropped, before the patch even dropped, this is a significant improvement. There's also improvements to loot drops and whatnot. I think the other day I got 3 trickster keys in 1 grand prize pool, which is fantastic. I hated those things. It's all just a really good look to see how they're improving the game. Now, is the game perfect? Obviously not. It's update 0.2. There's no chance it's going to be perfect. But as I said, it is most definitely a step in the right direction, and if Airship Syndicate can keep this up, I'm hoping that their game can flourish and continue to improve, and hopefully we keep getting fun events like this and massive updates. And I completely forgot, they actually implemented the new system, which is being able to use your experience scrolls. So if you've been playing the game for the last 3-4 months, grinding every single experience scroll that you can possibly get your hands on, you can now basically level whatever you want, whenever you want. It's fantastic. Obviously, if you want to see all 2,000 odd changes they've made to the game in this patch, I believe there's like a whole document on their website that you can go and have a peruse over. It is frighteningly detailed, with so much information that I just could not get through if I tried. But it is a fantastic step in the right direction, and I really hope Wayfinder and Airship Syndicate manage to keep it up, because I really want to like this game more and more. And if we can just get the right balance and the performance sorted and get to 1.0 with our heads held high, the game will be a lot of fun. Here's hoping anyway, but we shall see. With that though, I just wanted to give my quick thoughts on the patch. I've really enjoyed it so far. I intend on continuing to enjoy it, because after this, I need to go and get some more of those rubies, because I need that spider pet, and I need it now. So with that, I will say my goodbyes. Thank you for those that stuck around until the end. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that good stuff. And until next time, where hopefully I get to talk about more positive things about Wayfinder, goodbye.